Stability and traction are for wimps. I run no arrow, manual with clutch at every track, 'cause I am all that is man. Oh yeah? Then why'd you just get your ass handed to you by an automatic transmission car? Skywarp72, Cruizers Motorsports Gaming, and in this hot topic button show, we are going to look at the pros and cons of assists versus no assists, and have you, the viewers, weigh in on the comment section below. But first, you know what to do. Give that subscribe button a little love tap over there, and if you do, I thank you much. Okay, I'm just going to keep it casual on this one. I'm an old school gamer, going back to the days of Rad Racer and RC Pro-Am and the original Nintendo Entertainment System, when all you had was an automatic transmission, and because of this, I raced with the auto slush box until about Forza Motorsports 6, and I finally made the jump to manual with clutch. Did I get faster? Well, sure I did. But I felt like I had to kill that inner 8-year-old racer as he innocently piloted an Indy car around Al Unser Jr.'s turbo racing. It just didn't feel right. Now, mind you, I was a force to be reckoned with on Forza 4 and 5 with the automatic and other driving aids, and if my race went optimally, I could take down some really fast players with my huge handicaps. But remembering those early days in Forza Motorsport 4 got me thinking, so I got some inside info on how Turn 10 adjusted the handicaps for 6 as opposed to the previous iterations. You see, I made the jump to manual with clutch on 6 out of necessity, as the auto is now nerfed beyond compromise. Interestingly enough, what was done, or how it was explained to me anyway, was when the testing for the game was done at each track, it was done by a professional driver in a high-class car, being like a P or X class. Ironically enough, in FM6, these classes are where the assists actually work the best. However, the lower class you race, the handicap becomes much larger. So you can tell testing was never done with a lesser car other than a purpose-built race car. And I get that. Not only is it cheaper on the budget while you're making the game, a lot of your assisted drivers are casuals that only want to race the upper classes anyway, so it easily appeases them. So, if you're wondering what assists I use, in Forza Motorsports 6 I run a lot of public lobbies, so I run traction to help keep from getting wrecked from the wreckers, and I'm now running the line because I'm making the switch back to 6 from Horizon, which is quite the change. And in Horizon 3 I just use the line just because it's so hard to keep all the different tracks straight. I do not berate other players for the assists they use. And I'm sure we've all ran into that guy who does make fun of you for your assists. You know, that same guy who tells you how awesome and fast he is while he's trying quietly to stroke his junk. Don't be that guy. Especially because that guy more than likely is running the most unrealistic assists of them all. Remember, no racetrack has a glowing line on it to tell you when to gas and brake. So let's take a good look at this debate and break it down a little bit. How realistic are assists? F1 has ran traction control and ABS before, stability management is a staple in modern hypercars, and the automatic transmission is used widely in lower class circle track and the fastest streetcar drag racing world. I can't recall assisted braking in racing, and even the noobs I've seen usually don't run it, so that and the line are just video gamey style assists, and that's what we're dealing with here. Are there players you just can't beat in a race? Well, take a look at their gamer score. Chances are they're very good at video games, and at the end of the day, that's what any Forza is a video game. With the advent of FM6, Turn 10 nerfed the assist pretty bad. I used to be able in 4 and 5 to tune the auto trans to overcome a great deal of the handicap, and the TCS was actually usable. Like I said before, 6 may be switched to manual with clutch to stay competitive, but not everyone can do that. For an example, I have a longtime friend on Xbox who is a Desert Storm veteran and does not have full use of his hands and literally can't manually shift in the game. FM6 has not been kind to him, yet he continues to play and run a well thought out and organized league. And seriously, check him out, if clean organized circuit racing is your thing. So why are assists slower? Well, let's break it down and look at each assist. The automatic transmission shifts a hair before redline, where a majority of engines make their peak power, Not to mention you can't gear them down and have the engine help in slowing the car down for corners faster. ABS, it just greatly increases your braking distance. TCS directly cuts power that the engine is making as to not to spin the wheels. STM, stability management, I don't know honestly, I just don't like the way it makes the car feel. So I've really never used it. The racing line is the only assist that does not hinder your car's abilities. So how do you overcome assists? Well, this one's pretty tricky. I used to help random players that asked me to teach them, and then they eventually just gave up Forza anyway and moved on to other games. I taught them though, as I was taught, and I was taught by one of the absolute best players FM4 had to offer, Pissed Off Panda. And the best bit of advice I got from him was this: Forza is not a button masher game. Just like real racing, it takes finesse and patience. Him saying that made me realize how wrong I was in playing the game. Oh, and practice. Tons of practice. Should you run assists? Yes and no, and this is where I'm going to end this debate. You should only run assists if you are happy with your lap times. If you are not happy, start turning them off one by one until you get to where you want to be. Don't be like me and get stuck in a rut. The longer you run them, the harder it is to wean yourself off of them. But it comes down to this: whatever assists you run, or even don't run, you should do whatever makes you enjoy the game the most. Again, at the end of the day, it's a video game. It's meant to be enjoyed. I'll race it my way, you race it yours, and we're going to have fun playing the game. That's kind of the point. Okay, viewers, your turn. Let me know what assists you run and why in the comment section below. Please keep it respectful. I hope you guys enjoyed and liked this week's video. Don't forget to subscribe. Till next week, my fellow drivers.